In the ancient narrative of creation, we find the profound and poetic story of Adam and Eve, a tale that begins with the divine act of forming humanity and unfolds into a story of companionship, temptation, and the consequences of choice. The creation of man in the beginning, according to the sacred text, God shaped the first human from the dust of the earth. This divine act was not merely an act of creation but a miraculous transformation. God breathed life into this form, imbuing it with the essence of existence. This first man, Adam, was not just a creation of clay but a living being endowed with consciousness and spirit. The act of breathing life into him signifies the divine gift of life and purpose, setting the stage for humanity's journey. The Garden of Eden. God then created a magnificent garden, a paradise known as Eden. This garden was not just a place of beauty but a sanctuary of perfection, an embodiment of divine intention and harmony. Within Eden, two notable trees stood out, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life represented the eternal vitality and divine sustenance, while the tree of knowledge symbolized the profound and complex nature of morality and awareness. God placed Adam in this lush garden, tasking him with the role of caretaker. He was to tend the garden, to name the creatures, and to enjoy the abundance of its beauty. Despite the splendor of his surroundings and his unique role, Adam felt a profound sense of solitude. The garden was filled with creatures of all kinds, each exhibiting its own form of life and companionship, yet none were like Adam. None could share his thoughts, feelings, or experiences. The creation of Eve. Recognizing Adam's loneliness, God decided to create a companion for him. While Adam slept, God performed a divine surgery, taking one of his ribs and fashioning it into a woman. This act was not just a physical creation but a profound statement about the nature of human relationships. Eve, the first woman, was made from Adam's own flesh, symbolizing a deep and intrinsic connection between them. She was designed to be Adam's helper and partner, sharing in the joys and responsibilities of life in Eden. When Adam awoke and saw Eve, he was overjoyed. The arrival of Eve transformed his experience in Eden, as she was not only a companion but a reflection of his own being. The unity between Adam and Eve was symbolized by their shared origin, and their relationship set a foundational example for the nature of human bonds. Life in Eden. Together, Adam and Eve explored the wonders of the Garden of Eden. They lived in a state of innocence and purity, enjoying the fruits of the garden and the harmony of their surroundings. They had access to all that Eden offered, except for one crucial limitation: they were not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This command was a divine boundary, meant to preserve their innocence and maintain the sanctity of their existence. The temptation and fall. The tranquility of Eden was soon to be challenged. A serpent, described as more cunning than any other creature, approached Eve. This serpent was a symbol of deception and temptation, embodying the seductive power of choice and the complexity of moral understanding. The serpent questioned Eve about the command regarding the tree of knowledge. Eve responded that they were not to eat from it, lest they die. The serpent, however, contradicted her, suggesting that eating from the tree would not lead to death but would instead open their eyes to a higher understanding, making them like gods, knowing good and evil. The allure of wisdom and the promise of enlightenment proved irresistible to Eve. She took fruit from the tree and ate it, and then gave some to Adam. In their act of disobedience, they did not just consume forbidden fruit but also crossed a divine boundary, choosing to define their own understanding of good and evil rather than abiding by God's will. The consequence of their actions: their eyes were indeed opened, but not in the way they had anticipated. They became aware of their nakedness and felt shame. The harmony of Eden was shattered by their newfound knowledge, leading to a sense of guilt and fear. When God approached them, they hid, illustrating their awareness of their disobedience and the resulting estrangement from their Creator. The consequences of their actions were severe. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly, and enmity was placed between it and humanity. Eve was condemned to experience pain in childbirth and a complicated relationship with her husband. Adam was sentenced to toil the land for sustenance, marking a shift from the ease of life in Eden to a life of labor and struggle. Exiled from Eden as a result of their disobedience, Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden. The paradise they had once enjoyed was now a memory, replaced by a world filled with hardship and toil. The cherubim with a flaming sword were placed to guard the entrance to Eden, preventing their return and symbolizing the loss of direct communion with the divine. Their expulsion marked the beginning of human history as we understand it, a history characterized by the interplay of choice, consequence, and redemption. Adam and Eve became the archetypal first parents, experiencing the full spectrum of human emotions and struggles. They were tasked with the responsibility of populating the earth and guiding their descendants through the complex world that lay beyond Eden. The legacy of Adam and Eve. The story of Adam and Eve is more than a simple account of the origins of humanity. It is a profound narrative exploring themes of innocence, temptation, choice, and the nature of human existence. Their story has been interpreted in various ways across different cultures and religious traditions, serving as a foundational myth that addresses the complexities of human nature and the divine. In many traditions, the tale of Adam and Eve is also seen as an allegory for the journey of human consciousness. Their transition from innocence to awareness represents the broader human experience of gaining knowledge and facing the moral and existential challenges that come with it. It underscores the idea that with greater understanding comes greater responsibility and the potential for both growth and suffering. In summary, the story of Adam and Eve is a rich and multifaceted narrative that explores the origins of humanity, the nature of temptation and choice, and the profound consequences of disobedience. It serves as a timeless reminder of the complexity of human existence and the eternal quest for understanding and redemption.